A shockwave rolls across the coastline, not an explosion you see first, but one you feel. Conversations stop mid-sentence. For a brief second, a city built on precision and timing loses both. This is Dubai, one of the most connected cities on Earth. And in that moment, everything it depends on is being tested at once. Because this isn't just about a missile, it's about what happens when uncertainty enters a system designed to eliminate it. For decades, Dubai has functioned as a guarantee. Planes land on time, ships unload without delay. Money moves freely, deals close fast. The system works because everyone believes it will keep working. That belief is the product, and now it's under pressure. Since late February, the United Arab Emirates has faced a sustained wave of attacks. Hundreds of missiles, thousands of drones. Not aimed at conquering territory, but at disrupting confidence. Most are intercepted, some are not. But that distinction barely matters, because in a system like Dubai, perception moves faster than damage. The immediate effects are subtle, but measurable. Flights begin to shift, delays increase, cargo slows at the ports, ships hesitate offshore, waiting for clarity that doesn't come. Then the second layer hits. People start making decisions, quiet ones. Those with options begin to leave. Some take commercial flights, others don't wait. Private jets lift off within hours. Hotels respond instantly, lowering prices to hold occupancy. Malls remain open, but foot traffic thins. The rhythm changes, not dramatically, not all at once, but enough. Then the markets react. Real estate, one of Dubai's core signals of confidence, drops sharply. Not over months, over days. Roughly a third of value, erased in a short window. That kind of movement doesn't come from destruction, it comes from doubt. Here's the core question. What happens to a city built on certainty when people begin to question it? To understand that, you have to understand how Dubai actually works, because it doesn't function like a traditional city. The United Arab Emirates is not a single unified economic system. It's layered. At the base sits Abu Dhabi, oil wealth, financial backing, stability. On top of that sits Dubai. But Dubai didn't build its success on oil. It built it on movement. Everything flows through it. Passengers, cargo, capital. Its role is to connect systems that would otherwise remain separate. Europe to Asia, Africa to the Gulf, finance to logistics. It doesn't produce as much as it facilitates, and that distinction matters. Take aviation. Dubai's geographic position places a massive portion of the global population within a single flight radius. That advantage was turned into infrastructure. Airlines scaled around it, routes converged, airports expanded. The result is a hub where the world passes through. The same logic applies to trade. Ports are optimized for speed, not storage. Containers arrive, move, and leave. Delays are minimized because delays break the model. Efficiency isn't a bonus here, it's the requirement. Then comes finance. Low friction, open access, predictable rules. Capital doesn't just enter, it stays, it circulates, it compounds. Each layer reinforces the others. Movement feeds trade, trade supports finance, finance attracts people, and people keep everything running. But there is one hidden dependency. All of it relies on the assumption that nothing interrupts the flow. That assumption is now under stress. The attacks themselves are not random. They are targeted in a very specific way. Infrastructure, logistics, symbolic locations. Not to destroy them completely, but to introduce friction. From a strategic standpoint, this isn't about defeating the UAE. It's about using it. The Emirates sits inside a broader security network tied to Western power structures in the region. It hosts assets, shares intelligence, supports logistics. That makes it valuable and vulnerable. So instead of confronting larger powers directly, pressure is applied here. Indirectly, missiles and drones become tools of disruption. Not decisive weapons, but instruments of uncertainty. They don't need to land to be effective. They just need to be seen. And they are. Footage circulates quickly. A projectile hitting a coastal structure. A drone crossing low over the shoreline. Interceptors streaking across the night sky. Each clip does the same thing. It breaks the illusion. And once that illusion cracks, behavior changes. Here's where Dubai is different from cities that have faced attacks before. When cities like New York or London were hit, they absorbed the shock. Not because they were immune, but because they were rooted. People lived there as part of something deeper than economics. They stayed, they rebuilt, they returned. Dubai operates differently. Its population is overwhelmingly international. The majority of residents are not citizens. They are there for opportunity, income, access, lifestyle. That creates a powerful growth engine, But it also creates a different kind of stability, because for many, the relationship with the city is conditional. If the benefits outweigh the risks, they stay. If that balance shifts, they leave. This is the underlying mechanism now being tested. Right now, the system is holding. Most people remain, most operations continue, which means the calculation still works. But the margin is thinner, because each new incident adds weight to the risk side of the equation, not enough to collapse the system, but enough to change how it's evaluated, and that shift matters more than the attacks themselves. If this continues, the long-term effects become clearer. Investors begin to diversify, not because they are forced to, but because they now consider scenarios they previously ignored. Businesses start building redundancy, alternative routes, backup hubs, secondary options. Capital doesn't flee all at once. It adjusts, quietly. And once that process begins, it doesn't fully reverse. Even after the conflict ends, something fundamental changes. The assumption of perfect reliability is gone, replaced with probability. Dubai doesn't stop functioning, it adapts. Leadership responds, incentives increase, policies adjust, support systems expand, measures designed to stabilize the flow. And many of them will work. The city will recover. But recovery is not the same as restoration, because the system has been exposed. At its core, Dubai is an engineered environment, highly efficient, highly optimized, but also highly dependent on external stability. And that stability is not fully within its control. This is the deeper reality now coming into focus. No matter how advanced the infrastructure, no matter how strong the financial backing, no city can completely isolate itself from its surroundings. Geography still matters, proximity still matters, risk still travels. What we are watching is not a collapse, it's a recalibration. Dubai remains one of the most important nodes in the global system, but it is no longer seen as untouchable. And that changes how the system behaves around it. The missiles may stop, the drones may disappear, the skyline will remain. But the certainty that built the system will no longer be assumed. And in a city where certainty is the product, that is the most significant shift of all.